In this video, I summarize Robert Greene's book Mastery, where he presents a toolkit to carve your way to mastery. I found this book very insightful and I'm excited to implement these ideas in my own life. Introduction. Let's start with the question, what leads to mastery? People believe that talent you're born with is the biggest deciding factor. While this might be true for a few activities such as basketball, where height plays a key role, it's not actually true for most activities we do. There are many examples where people with seemingly below average intelligence when they're young go on to do great things. For example, Charles Darwin wasn't a high IQ individual and by his own admission had limited ability to follow along long and abstract trains of thought. He wasn't good at anything in school, but he had one overriding passion, which was collecting biological specimens, and this led him to come up with the groundbreaking theory of natural selection. Your natural inclination towards something, the persistent desire to learn something and putting in those long hours of intense focus matters far more than inborn talent. Hence, for achieving mastery, you have to follow your inner inclinations. Those inclinations drive you to do things beyond the point where most people would give up. It serves you much better than talent ever can. And once you find this inclination of yours, the journey towards being a master can be divided into 3 phases. Phase 1, apprenticeship phase, the first 10,000 hours. During this phase, you should keep switching between 3 modes. Passive mode, where you closely observe what the masters in the field do without challenging anyone or getting any attention towards yourself. Practice mode, where you get the reps in by just repeating what the masters in your field do. While it might be boring and painful, it toughens our mind just like exercise. Put in the work without looking for shortcuts. And finally, active mode. Once you've spent enough time in the previous modes, you're ready to start taking on new projects, but make sure you don't take up too novel ones. Put your ideas out there and listen carefully to your criticisms and learn from them. Strategies to follow during the apprenticeship phase. Actively choose places that offer the most learning rather than money, fame, or attention, as this will pay dividends in the decades to come, which is far more than your current pay raise. Keep expanding your horizon by listening to a wide range of experts. Create your own learning curriculum based on your understanding instead of following conventional ways in which the masses learn because they are often very inefficient. Focus on building your skill while ignoring how good other people are and the temptation to compare yourself to others. Find mentors who have good breadth of knowledge and are open-minded. In the apprenticeship phase, you develop quietly and people might not be able to see these differences from the outside. Trust the process and keep moving. Mozart had a long apprenticeship phase of replicating work of other masters that gave him enough vocabulary to produce truly original novel works at an incredible pace later in his career. There is no way around this phase and all masters have to go through this. Phase 2, the creative active phase. In this phase, you need to shift your focus to creating rather than consuming. You need to let your creativity loose that might have become a little rusty during the apprenticeship phase. You need to make continued speculations about things and change your mind by gathering more data. This process will sometimes be frustrating, but continue working on ideas without forcing a solution. Do not become complacent or lose the feeling of awe about your area of work. Do not narrow down the problem into some stats and spend most energy resolving those stats. Continue looking at the big picture and tackle the problem from as many directions as possible. Work with the feeling that you have limited time left to motivate yourself and to produce at a good pace. Phase 3, fusing the intuitive with rational. By this point, you developed heightened intellectual powers and have strong intuitions about various things in your mind. You're not limited by your language anymore because you use visual memory instead of thinking about problems. You'll develop the ability to accurately judge seemingly chaotic phenomena without giving a rational account of how you arrived at it. For example, chess master Bobby Fischer was able to think beyond various moves of his pieces on the chessboard after a while. He could see fields of forces that allowed him to anticipate entire direction of the match. Embrace these newfound powers and fuse them with your rational mind to produce truly groundbreaking work. Another important factor to consider in your journey to mastery is your social intelligence. A big roadblock in your pursuit of mastery comes from the emotional drain of dealing with the drama and manipulations of people around you. The ability to accurately judge people and woo them is very important. Without having the skill, you might not be able to find the time and attention necessary for achieving mastery because you will be continuously bumping into relationship problems with your coworkers, clients, and family. Humans by nature are not rational beings. You should accept people for who they truly are and learn to navigate around them instead of worrying or blaming them and getting into emotional dramas. And by putting all of these ideas together, you will be able to produce your true masterpiece. These are my key takeaways from reading the book Mastery by Robert Greene. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below.